Hi everyone, my name is Jessie. Thank you so much for checking out my YouTube channel today. I post weekly content that gives you a glimpse into my journey towards living a fit, fun, and financially free life. So if that is the type of content you are interested in, I really hope you will consider subscribing to my channel and stick around. Today is another payday envelope stuffing video. I love payday. I love doing these envelope stuffing videos, and it's a very exciting payday because as of tomorrow, I will officially be debt free. I can't even believe it. I've paid off over $75,000 worth of debt. Some of that is student loans, some of that was consumer debt, some of that was medical debt, some of it was debt that followed me from a previous rental situation. Basically, it's taken me about 7 years of razor sharp focus to pay off that huge sum of money, but I'm here to tell you that if I can do it, you can do it too. So there are some things that are going to be changing about my budgeting videos because my budget is about to open up. I am definitely going to be changing up my categories and how I use my cash and how I save for things. And I also wanted to share that I did order an A6 wallet. An A6 binder. I ordered an A6 binder from Amazon. I ordered some envelopes and stickers and just gonna start setting up my envelope. All of that stuff comes in on Tuesday. So not in today's video, but in my next video when I'm officially debt free, you will see the setup change a little bit. And stay tuned to my channel for my debt confession video because I'm excited to share that. So if you're interested in watching how I plan and prepare my sinking funds and envelope stuffing, then please keep on watching.
Before I get into stuffing my sinking funds and my envelopes, I like to get organized. And if you're curious to see how I come up with the amounts that I have available to distribute to my sinking funds and put into my 100 envelope challenge, then be sure to check out my payday routine video. Now, I do believe very strongly that paying myself first is important. I have a very deep conviction that we can't treat savings as an afterthought. So I actually allocate certain amounts to go directly into my Ally savings account before I ever get to this point where we're talking about savings challenges and sinking funds, because that money that I allocate to Ally, those are going to bigger things. Those dollars are going to down payment for a house. Those are going to future investments. Those are the types of dollars that are going to go out and have a job to make me more money. So we can't treat savings as an afterthought. We really need to treat it as a bill, that our savings account and our investments are a bill that we need to budget for. My sinking funds are obviously cash, and then my savings challenge is obviously cash as well. I allocate dollars to very specific places. I pay bills using my checking account, and I fill up on gas. And then what's left from there can get budgeted out to different categories, which brings in the change that I've been putting aside recently. So every time I use cash, I get change, and I'm putting that aside. I do pay my son, Apollo. He's 4 years old. I do give him 1 coin every time he feeds the dog, and once a week he has an opportunity to get 2 coins because he feeds the dog and he feeds our turtle. And I do believe in paying an allowance even to young kids, because I understand that it's kind of controversial that kids really don't need to be earning an allowance considering they get to live in our house for free. But I strongly disagree with that mentality, because as a parent and as the mom, I am the one who is responsible right now for teaching my young child financial literacy. I want him to be knowledgeable about money before he ever starts working outside of the house. I will be putting change in his Easter eggs this year. And when he opens the eggs that have change in them, he will put that change into his piggy bank. When his piggy bank is full, we are going to cash in all those coins, and then he is going to have a choice when we turn that change into cash. He can put all of it in a bigger piggy bank that he has and save all that money for something really big. He will have the opportunity to go spend it, or he can split it up. So I think it's really, really good to start training and teaching your kids about money early on, but he is still so little that he doesn't really care if he chooses a penny or a quarter. It doesn't really make a difference to him, but empowering him to make his own decisions about the money that he has before he's old enough to really have a job outside of the house, I think that's going to be really important and really valuable lessons. Sorry, I went on a rant there, but I have written out what I'm going to be stuffing in my sinking funds and in my savings challenge. Stuffing a total of $854, and I have things broken down into specific amounts. I'm going to start getting a lot more specific with this as we get closer to different holidays and different goals. But after everything was all allocated, I have $600 that I can pull from my 100 envelopes. If you want to know more about how I set up my 100 envelope savings challenge, then please check out some of my previous videos. I feel kind of mixed because clearly we're making a little bit of a dent in this challenge, but it's also taking forever and there's a lot of envelopes left. But that's okay. I will not give up on this challenge. I will stay the course. So with $600, I know that I can pull at least 6 of my largest envelopes. So we'll start with 78, 77, 76, 75, 74, 73. So that puts us at 453. So 600 minus 453 gives us 147. So I will definitely pull another big one, 72. So I'm going to pull one from the middle, 49, puts us at 26. And our smallest envelope before we get to the 20s is 36. I don't want to go over, so I'm going to stop there. So I'm going to get all organized and get everything written out for exactly what I'm going to need when I go to the bank. And when I get back, then I will get everything all stuffed. Okay, I am back from the bank and running errands. I have all my cash. And I'm going to start off by stuffing my sinking funds. I have a larger amount going into the baby's fund because I am expecting a baby at the end of summer. So I do have a designated slot just for baby. When I get to my goal for what I want when the baby comes, that is when I will actually start buying supplies for the baby, things like baby clothes, diapers. I'll start putting together the bassinet, but first I want to save up a designated amount just for when the baby comes so that we are covered financially during maternity leave. So the baby is going to get $129. $129 will go into the baby's slot. And now the next slot that is going to get a specific amount is the self-care. That slot's going to get $45. Every other slot is just going to get $10 from there. But I do want to do a bill exchange because some of the slots are getting kind of bulky. And this bill exchange actually it caused quite a bit of anxiety for me this morning, just because I really want to make sure everything is done right. And I don't want to miss any steps. Pulling out $50. I'm setting that aside and putting a $50 bill in its place. And I was asked if I plan to consolidate these even further and use placeholders so that I don't have so much cash. And the answer to that is absolutely. I do plan to utilize play money essentially, because yeah, it is kind of, it does make a person get nervous to have this much cash on you all the time. Just not quite there yet. When these start getting really full, then I certainly will consider putting money into the bank and then utilizing prop money for to hold its spot. Apollo's birthday is another one that can be consolidated, and I think I'll pull out the tens and put $50 in there. So my math is a little off somewhere. So we'll see. It'll all kind of work itself out here. What doesn't end up getting stuffed in the envelope was meant to go over here, so we'll have to come back and fix that after this. So let's just go ahead and start stuffing the envelopes, and we'll figure out where I miscounted. So the first envelope is 78. I was speaking to somebody who had expressed to me that the envelope seemed so great and all, but their budget is just too small to participate in a savings challenge like this. It's just too tight. I wanted to start incorporating change. So it was just a Bath and Body Works candle jar that I cleaned out. So I think seasonally, I will dump out the change and see how much change we were able to save. I am a big Dave Ramsey fan, and for anybody that has ever called in to Dave Ramsey or listened to Dave Ramsey's show, you know that he is very much a tough love type of guy when he gives his advice. He's a no-nonsense, tough love, and he's very consistent with how he answers calls, and when people have concerns with their money, he's very consistent with how he deals with that, and I really appreciate that. You know, if your budget's so tight that you're not able to save money, he's gonna have two options for you, and that is to cut your expenses and get your income up, which I do think is true. I think that's true for the majority of America, that most people just need to find ways to get their income up and cut excess spending. But there are some of us that are on set incomes that don't have the luxury of, there's really not much more that can be cut. I think that if you really tried, you could find areas to cut. For those who can't, find a category in your budget that you can pay for in cash. And I think two good places to start would be groceries and eating out, because those categories are gonna vary quite a bit. To the point where you're probably always going to get some sort of cash or some sort of change, whether it be dollar bills or change, and start just putting that aside. And then at the end of every month or the end of every quarter, or maybe do it all year, see how much you have, because I think you'd be surprised at how quickly that adds up. So all of my envelopes are stuffed now.
So I missed quite a few. I obviously missed a slot. There was a slot here that didn't get. It's 10. So it must have been my travel fund. Didn't get the 10. So now I can consolidate 3 more slots. So I think, let me just start from the back and see if, so Christmas got a 50, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So Christmas will get another 50. And I'll just do Halloween as well. Double check to make sure that Halloween got 50. So there's 50 it was supposed to get. 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. Let's see if Apollo's birthday. Nope, not Apollo's birthday. Which slot is missing? I hope I didn't miss any of the envelopes. All right, well, every slot got all the money that they needed, so I must have just pulled an extra 50. I think when I pulled the 50, I had anticipated that it would go to just spending or groceries. So it's not a big deal. I'll figure out what my thought process was here with pulling the extra 50, but that's okay. All my slots got the right amount. All the envelopes got the right amount. So for the next 2 weeks, this is what I have for groceries and spending. So 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, which is essentially what I will use for groceries. And so spending for the rest of the 2 weeks, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So $10.01. So sorry that this video was a little less organized than previous videos. That's not usually how I like to do it, but I clearly had a different process going on when I pulled my money and when I set up my budget. So which is fine because it's gonna go to something that's needed. So thank you so much for checking out my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.